Go for flight. So with that, just 30 seconds to go. Vehicle looking healthy. Looks like we may have just squeaked in under the wind.
30 seconds and counting.
Starlink satellites also continuing to look healthy. Why don't we listen in and watch terminal count?
T-minus 15 seconds.
Falcon 9 is configured for flight.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition and liftoff.
Vehicle's pitching downrange.
M1D chamber pressures are nominal.
Seconds into flight, Falcon 9 successfully lifting off from pad 40 at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, carrying those 60 Starlink satellites into orbit. This particular booster lighting up the Florida coast for a 7th time. Now, we just began throttling down those Merlin 1D engines for maximum dynamic pressure, or max Q. That's the point when the stresses on the vehicle are the highest from the combination of the vehicle speed and the density of the atmosphere.
Max Q.
And now that we're through the point of maximum dynamic pressure, the loads on the vehicle, the structural loads, are going to drop off as the density of the atmosphere continues to decrease. And Falcon 9 continuing to speed up. We're about a minute away from 3 events. First of those is main engine cutoff, or MECO. That's where we'll shut off those 9 Merlin 1D engines. You can actually see the plume expanding from them on your camera. We shut those down.
Engine chill started.
In preparation for stage separation. That's where the first and second stages will separate from each other. First stage continuing on a parabolic arc to make its way back to the drone ship, while the second stage continues on to the third event, second engine start number 1. We actually just heard the call out there for MVAC chill-in beginning. So during that third event, second engine start 1, we'll ignite the Merlin vacuum engine that'll propel the second stage along with the Starlink satellites into an elliptical orbit. And we chill in those turbo pumps with liquid oxygen just to get them ready for ignition.
And MECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
Left-hand side of your screen.
Ignition.
First stage separating, second stage ignition. Love that green glow from the T-tab ignition. Both vehicles back on their way. Coming up shortly, we'll expect to see fairing deployment off of the second stage. Look for that on the right-hand side of your screen.
Fairing separation confirmed.
Beautiful shot there of those Starlink satellites. Finally getting to see space directly. Now that we're outside of the atmosphere, we don't need those fairing halves anymore, so we'll jettison back to Earth to recover them. As a reminder, we do have our recovery ships, Miss Chief and Ghost Searcher, waiting at the Atlantic to scoop up both of those fairing halves.
On the left-hand side of your screen there, we saw the very last remnants of night lights visible off the Florida coast. It was a pretty awesome sight there as Falcon 9 lifted off. Now there we can see second stage with a healthy glow there on the MVAC engine. As second stage heads towards its targeted drop-off orbit, the first stage will execute 2 burns in order to make its way back to Earth. Now, if you happen to have followed along with our most recent launch on this past Saturday, where we launched out of Vandenberg Air Force Base,
Bermuda.
we performed 3 maneuvers in that instance because we were returning to launch site where we were landing the first stage back on land. Tonight, we are landing on the drone ship, as Shiva said before. Of course, I still love you. So we only need to perform 2 maneuvers because we are continuing the arc trajectory of the first stage. So that first burn is the entry burn, and we will reignite 3 of the 9 M1D engines at the base of the first stage. And this will help to slow that stage down as it re-enters the upper part of the Earth's atmosphere. And then the second burn is the landing burn. This is a single engine burn that brings the vehicle speed down rapidly in order to make a soft landing
Vehicle's on a nominal
on
trajectory.
the drone ship. So we heard there that the vehicle's on nominal trajectory. That's good news there. At this point in time, the first stage has reached apogee and is now starting its trip back down to the ocean. Our drone ship is parked a couple hundred miles off the coast of Florida in the Atlantic Ocean. It is, as you saw, a nighttime launch, and unfortunately, we can't really see anything. So we don't have very good first stage footage to show you at this point in time, but we will bring that back in once we get some landing burn action, re-entry burn action. Checking in on second stage, everything continues to look good. The 60 Starlink satellites that are on board today are joining the constellation of nearly 900 that we've already placed on orbit. These satellites are designed to provide high-speed, low-latency internet to folks like us here on Earth. And this is especially helpful for places where good internet is hard to access. First stage is continuing to coast, and it uses nothing but grid fins for that steering, as well as occasional nitrogen gas bursts for attitude control.
Stage 1 FTS is saved.
So on your left-hand side of the screen, yes, we will see the entry burn beginning.
Entry burn startup.
And entry burn has begun. And this will last for about another 20 seconds. Again, this is the first of 2 maneuvers that the first stage will perform tonight.
Stage 1, entry burn shutdown.
And shutdown of first stage entry burn. So
Stage
that
2
burn
continues to follow a nominal trajectory.
That burn was designed to slow the booster down significantly as it re-enters the upper parts of the Earth's atmosphere. The next maneuver will be the landing burn, and it is the final one, where we reignite just one single Merlin engine to make a soft landing on top of the drone ship. As we mentioned earlier, this is the 7th.
Stage 1, entry transonic.
We just heard that the booster is now transonic as it is re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. As I was saying, this is the 7th successful launch for this booster, and that will make this the 7th recovery attempt. Everything's continuing to look good there on the second stage. The
Stage 2
MVAC
terminal guidance.
MVAC engine has begun to throttle
Stage
down.
1, landing burn startup.
There we heard the call out that landing burn has begun, so we should see that come into the screen here just momentarily.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
Stage 1, landing leg deploy.
Landing legs have deployed. Here it comes. All right.
Landing to burn.
And for the 7th time, this Falcon has landed. This marks our 61st successful recovery of a Falcon 9 first stage.
And we have Seco.
And as the smoke clears, we can get a good view there. And we just heard the call out that we had Seco 1, or second engine cut off 1. So at this point in time,
Insertion.
and there we heard the call out that we have good orbit for that second stage. So now that stage 2 is, it's going to coast in this orbit for a few minutes. During this time, it will start to spin along its central axis, giving the Starlink satellites the momentum that they need to space themselves out.
That chick's pretty hot. Do you think she'd come on? Well, we didn't get any predicted explosions, so I apologize on behalf of the universe. I didn't see the Smace Mouse. I did see the Goon Bag deploy. The Goon Blag that protects all rockets. Would you root her? No, I just admire her aesthetic. Why no masks? Amit Rena asked. Yeah, good question. I'll tell you why there's no masks in this launch, and that is because they don't need to swing elections. It's like the election's over, so why do we need to wear masks on television? I mean, you guys will be able to tell me. I don't watch a lot of American television, but have all the masks disappeared? Why do you hate the chat, Oz? I don't hate the chat. I don't hate the chat. I love the chat. The chat is great. So, Amit Rain, are you going to come on the show? Because Florida, what does that mean? What is book? Oh, excuse me. It's rather early here. Haven't seen a COVID commercial for a week. Yeah, well, why would there be any more COVID commercials, or wear your masks, or go out and don't go out, and don't go to restaurants but go to marches. What else we got? Don't vote in person, but feel free to go to sex clubs or something. I don't know. What are the rules? Florida, the turpentine state. What does that mean? He did not. Amit Rana says, Oz, did you wish John Mayall? He got COVID. I wish him a speedy recovery. No shit. Really? Brother Gaius says he'll think about super chatting if Amit comes on. Dinner at restaurant, not okay. Right's okay. Yeah, that's what I... And they will tell you that no one in the riots got any COVID. There was zero. Check Twitter. Look, if I have to do all the work, this show's not going to happen, okay? So you guys need to provide me with some of the work here. Amit, are you coming on or not? You promised. Don't break another promise. First we had Pizzagate, now we've got Amit-gate. Not coming on gate. You've Pepsi Max was around. He would let you know. He would let you know how to actually donate for pizza. It'll take a few streams before he'll donate pizza, because he'll probably sleep in. But where is Amit? I suppose I better send the link. Invite, copy to clipboard, close the X. There's a loser here talking. What's he saying? Where's the hot chick gone?
for us. And you're currently looking at a live view of the second stage in a nominal orbit.
Where's your mask,
around the planet
motherfucker?
Earth. We're coming up on deployment of the Starlink satellites. You can see.
Isn't it
stacked
funny
rows on your
that we've
screen
all
in
been
just
watching
about
these
10 seconds.
rocket launches
Now,
together,
over
and
the
everyone's
course
got a
of the break,
perspex
we
screen
began
and masks
spinning
on?
the second stage along its central axis.
The first one we
to
watch
give
after the
those
election,
Starlink satellites a little bit of momentum upon separation.
and there's jack shit. It's all a scam, I tell you. It's not a scam. I mean, it's a real thing, but you know, the media is a scam. Damn it. Well-read user says, "Hey Oz, I'm not streaming today." That's all right, well-read. You weren't invited anyway. Oh, that was cool. What was that? Oh, check it out. All the satellites are taken off. We haven't seen this before on this show. Normally they end it, or I end it before this. It's like a giant car. So yawny. Wow, so we're done, Oz? No, we're not done. You can come on. I've just got to work out where the aim it is. All right, Al Bundy's helping me out today. Thank you, Al. You get a special shout out. John Malin says, "Hey all, wanted to be sure to let you all know that I'm fine. I have COVID and have been in the hospital. Jesus, I'm feeling the best I have right now. Small improvements and nothing to worry about." You know, the last show that he was on the Jack show, he looked really, really sick. Like super fucking sick. And I made a joke in the comments, which I feel bad about now. I said he looks like he looks like Zuckerberg. Did you see the Zuckerberg pics? Let me bring him up. Yeah, should have worn a mask. I wonder where he got it from. Has he said where he got it? Where he thinks he got it? And does his wife have it? Or his cats? Can cats get COVID? Mark Zuckerberg. Let's have a look at this guy. He looked like some kind of yellow leprosy guy. I think he, you know how John Burns, you know how Mr. Burns has that special kind of treatment where he drains blood from children? Open image in a new tab. I suppose I've got to invite, hang on, let me invite Raina first. No, wait, I'll put the picture up first. It's so small. It says like, I only said that he looked like this because of the lack of eyebrows. It's like he's Zuckerberg's got rid of his eyebrows or something. You've all seen this picture. It's fucking hilarious. So we got old Risley on the right, shaved John Malin in the left. Brother Gaius says, "It's a shame. Oz should have been the one to get Rona. Judging by how often he streams, we wouldn't have missed him." Jude Van Alien says, is that Copernicus? Oz, would you ever copyright strike someone? No. No, I wouldn't. And you know why? Because I'm a loving clam. And clams don't strike. They're filter feeders. They allow all the goodness of the ocean to come to them. And they filter it in, they digest it, and then they excrete a beautiful pearl. So no, why would I ever copyright strike someone? That's the devil's work. You know, I've often said that Liam is the devil. I've often said that he's a monster, and I've told you many times, this is not new. This is not news to anyone. I have said from the very beginning, Orange Man is great. However, he is a diabolical monster. Where's Aim It? Aim It Rainer. Right. There goes the link. And Pepsi Maximus too. If you're around and you're not asleep, which you might be because it's a bit of a strange time, I'll send you the link too. You two can come on. And if Aim It doesn't come on, then we know he's a scumbag. Aussies don't get COVID. It's a communist country. It's not communistic yet. It's just secluded. You know, is there not an island in the US that is secluded where there's no COVID? KSSS. Welcome to the show. I haven't seen you for a while. Oh, have I numbered this show wrong? Because I just guessed. It is 45, right? Dark Gift Comic Presents. Yes. No point talking to him, KSS. He's gone. My girlfriend's mum, there should be a apostrophe there, the girlfriend's, because it's ownership, said Gov Murphy, should be a full stop after Gov, says no singing in New Jersey this Thanksgiving. When is Thanksgiving? Is it soon? People have been talking about turkeys and shit. Who's the Taliban on the right? That is, what's his name? The other guy that does the other stuff. The other rich guy. Bezos? No, not Bezos. He's the bald guy. Is that Jack? No. Jay Swift. Who's Jay Swift? Somebody will tell me. The devil cancelled Aussie Thanksgiving. You know what? We don't celebrate Thanksgiving here. We've got no thanks to give. We're a prison colony, and as such, we were forced to come here. We're forced to come in chains to this great big desert. Well read. If you're not going to stream, please stop being mean. Jude Venalian says, I don't really care for those people who he stuck. Liam, stop sticking people with your willy, your uncut koala peen. But that bull made me lose all respect for Liam. Well, there's a few questions here. First of all, why did you have respect for Liam? He's just like a fat comic book ginger. There's a limited amount of respect you can have for someone that just writes comic books, you know? So put that out of your mind. We don't need to respect Liam. We can fear Liam. We can fear his retribution. And, you know, we should fear Liam. He gave us plenty of warnings that if we continued our embattled harassment of him, that he would crush us all. He'd crush us all beneath his feet. I recall a conversation between myself, Liam, Ethan Van Skyver. Please put the emoji in the chat. on stream, and so this isn't a private conversation, where he said, "You know what? I'll burn this place to the ground, all of it." Oh, fuck you, Amit. Come back in. I'll burn this place to the ground. I'll burn all of you. Yeah, well, Red, if you want to come on and be mean, come on and be mean. We should talk, remind us how much we love each other. All right. My special guest is here. Amit.
Hello.
You're a little bit quiet there, Amit. You talk into your microphone.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, I've got you.
Okay. Good morning.
Is this the real Amit Rayner?
Yes, it's me. Why did you ask such a question?
I asked the question because, you know, like many times before us, people sneak on and with different names and things.
I don't think I'm that popular for people to sneak on.
I don't know. You're pretty popular.
So,
So,
do you have any questions, or will you be quiet as normal?
well, I mean, I've got plenty of questions.
Okay.
First of all, Amit,
Mm-hmm.
do you look like your avatar?
Yes, I do. It's just the pictures taken 5 years ago.
So this is you.
Yes.
So everyone, this is the handsome man. Amit, I have to say, you are quite an attractive man.
Thank you. My wife agrees.
Mm-hmm. And what's your wife's name? You did tell me once before. It was like Sarah or something.
My wife's name off, please.
Why do I want your wife's name? Well, I got your name and your picture.
So why aren't you streaming anymore on a regular basis?
Now, I think that may be a fallacy.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that I stream all the time. I do believe that if I'm not on my show streaming, then I'm on Liam's show streaming.
No,
How long have you been married?
You used to do shows on a daily basis. You stopped doing that.
Now, do you want to explain to the audience why you've cancelled your membership to my show?
Yeah, because you were streaming on a daily basis, and I want to support that. But if
Right.
you're not going to do that, it doesn't make sense to pay you.
Do you think that I provide more than just streams on my show?
Nope.
No. You're not a fan of my artistic direction or my video releases?
Well, you stopped doing the art streams, didn't you?
Or what art streams? What do you mean?
You used to do when you were doing for your campaign, right? You were doing the koala streams. Sorry, it's
Yeah.
morning, Oz. I'm hard.
Oh, you're yawning too. Yeah, no, that's fine. We can all yawn here. This is it's very early. It's disturbingly early.
It's like for me, it's about like 9:30 in the morning. It's a bit early for me.
Right.
So yeah, what do you think about this whole Liam mess? I talked to him yesterday. I told him he should take the strikes off. It's not a good look for him, optics-wise at least.
He should take the what off?
The YouTube strikes, he should take them off. It's not a good look optics-wise.
Not a good look. Are you an SJW?
Well, I am a leftist. You know this.
Well, you're a big fan of
Yes.
George Soros.
But the businessman, not his politics as such. I mean, he is one of the richest men in the world. And if you look at his stock market record, it's even better than Warren Buffett. So yes, I do respect that man.
Now, do you need to explain to the audience why you didn't send me pizza money?
I never said
Be
that
careful!
if
Be
I.
careful! Be careful here. What
You
didn't
can
you
play
say?
it back. You can play the evidence back if you have it, but I never promised you pizza money. That was all Pepsi.
It was all Pepsi, was it?
Yep.
So there was no point in time where I was sitting at home in my studio and streaming, and you said to me, "What's your address?" I'll send you a pizza.
Yeah, but that had nothing to do with you streaming.
Oh, burn!
And I was being sarcastic.
Oh, sarcastic. You weren't
Yes.
asking for my address. Would you call yourself a liar, Amit?
No, a liar would mean intent. I did not intend to actually buy you the pizza.
Right. So
That would work.
if I said, sorry, I'm just laughing at something in the chat. If I said to you, Amit, I'm going to send you a preview copy of Liam's book, and then I said,
I actually don't like Liam's
you know,
book. It's
a
just
couple
a
of
playing joke. It's just a
Sorry?
playing joke that I want a free copy. I really don't care if I get a copy or not. That's just a joke. It's a good way to tease Liam in his streams.
So you don't actually want the book now?
No, I've not.
Because I've got the book for you. Do you want me to send it or not?
Nah, it's cool, man. I don't need it.
All right. You don't want Liam's book.
No.
All right. I'm just going to turn off the ice cream van. Hang on a sec. Carry the show for me, please, Amit.
I'm the only person here. All right. Does anybody have any questions for me? Oh, this is fun. So what does the chat think about this whole Liam mess? Do they think he handled it in a professional way? Or do you think he can do better?
Did you hold the show
Really,
down?
Mr. Domes, you think you're getting the best out of Liam? How so?
All right, I'm back. Did you answer them? How long have you been married? Are you hiking at the moment, or what's going on?
I'm not hiking. Why would I hike? Can you hear me?
I don't know. Oh, that sounds much better.
Okay. No, actually, I'm on my phone. I'm not on the microphone. That's why probably.
Okay.
The audio's not that good.
No, it sounds fine now. Whatever you did. So how long have you been married? Lion Ratton wants to know. Are you there? Are you there, Amit? The Lethal Diva says, not sure. I feel like I'm coming in halfway through here. But Liam is an adult. Yes. If he struck the channels for whatever reason he did, we just have to have faith he did it with proper justification. If not, YouTube is most likely going to come down on. Or maybe he's about to self-destruct. It's hard to tell. Do I have English second language for all of my audience? What's going on? Yeah. So who in Twitter here saw Liam's announcement last night? He put out an announcement. Where's my notifications? Did you see this, Amit?
Yeah, I saw the tweet. It was kind of cringe.
Cringe? In what way?
Everybody knows his stance. What's the point of posting it?
Do people really know his stance, though? How would you describe his stance?
He thinks that he has to strike the channels because it's affecting his business, and it's not a personal vendetta against anybody.
Right. And why do you think
Or am I
it's
mistaken?
affecting? No, continue on. And why do you think it's affecting his business?
I don't think it is. I think if a few people are going to leave his book because of rumors, he should just let those people go. I mean, they're not his real supporters in any case. If they're going to listen to other, because people are always going to talk bullshit.
Right. Do you think that there's a difference between someone talking bullshit and someone committing serious slander against him?
But how do you legislate against that, right? Because that means you have to find intent of people, and it's very hard to find intent in anybody's actions because they can always say, "Oh, I was just doing a parody."
Well, let's put it out there. If I Google Amit Raina, and that is your real name, and the first, say, 20 things that come up in the Google search are horrible things that people have said about you, like not funny things, but things like, you know, you're a wife beater and a pedophile and things like that, and they're the first 20 entries that come up on a Google search. What do you think? Do you think there should be any remedy or any process for you to battle that?
I'm sure they should, but I don't think striking somebody's channel is the right way of going about it. I mean, you can use search and optimization. You can use many other tools to fix that.
Mm-hmm. And what if the people that were responsible?
YouTube is an optics war, Oz. You know, you always have to. If you act just like everybody else, or the people who you are against, then you're no better than them at the end of the day, right? And you're kind of, you have to win the optics argument.
Right.
I'm
not disagreeing with you. I'm just asking whether in this day and age,
do I think it's wrong
be...
what other people are doing to him? Of course I think it's wrong, but purely from looking at it from a optics point of view, it really doesn't come off as good. And also I think from a basic principle point of view, right? If you believe in free speech, then let people do what they want.
Is there any limit to free speech?
I'm an absolutist on this issue, Oz.
The Great CG Oracle asks, at Oz Art Creations, are you still shipping the koala pins? I still never got my 10. Yes, they've been shipped to the US. Everything's been shipped to the US, and they are going to be distributed. But the post office told me that because it's Christmas time, it might take a while. Basically, they all got put into a big box and then sent to a friend in the US. Everything's been labeled and weighed and postaged and everything, and then he's gonna take it to the post office there once it all arrives and everything's riggy-dig. So never fear, they'll be here. I don't know exactly when. A few of the bigger backers that I could send direct, they got those a while back, and all the Australian backers got all of theirs, so that's all being fulfilled. And I'm just still working on the European side of things. At the moment, to send one pin to the UK costs $36. So,
Does your shipping cost more than your actual campaign?
well,
I
yeah,
mean,
because
your-
the pin costs $10.
Hmm.
So,
Are you losing money on this?
oh, not for all the other ones. It's only Europe. It's a bit of a problem at the moment, and it's purely because of COVID. So I'm working on that situation. It costs the same to send 20 kilos to Europe at the moment as it does to send 2 ounces. So
The fuck?
yeah.
That-
So basically, what's happened is with COVID, they've stopped all of basically they've stopped all small distribution. So it's only essentially everything up to 20 kilograms, which for our audience is about, I don't know, 45 pounds. So everything up to 45 pounds is the same price.
Is all the
no
same
matter
price.
what. So yeah, so I'm dealing with that issue, but never fear, I will work it out. I worked out the US, I will work out Europe.
Well, I hope you don't lose money on it, either which one. That's
No, I won't lose money. If worse comes to worse, I'll just refund the European people and send
I'm
them
not
a
putting
Christmas
my own money
card.
on this. I'll just refund you.
Well, yeah, that's kind of how it has to work, right? If you can't
Yeah.
if you
I'm
can't
just
do it
pulling
because
your
of, I know, but people have that
logistical
concern.
reasons. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jim Lee had this same problem. He was just posting out his backpacks, and all of a sudden, all the shipping arrangements changed, and he had to change everything. So this is not an Oz only issue, but we are working through it together, and that's what it's all about. Well, Red, working through things together.
That's right, hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Ahmed. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Do you miss Twitless as much as I do?
I used to, but I forgot about him, to be honest.
Oh, I'll never forget Twitless.
I sent him a Twitter message he responded, and then he stopped responding to my messages, so whatever. Guess he doesn't want to talk anymore.
We do need to just clarify something here. Mr. Dong says KSS, Liam is issuing false channel strikes out of anger, should be cleared up in 10 days. All right, so let's just have a look. This what I was talking about with regard to the when we were talking about optics and with regard to what's actually going on, and I don't think people quite understand what's going on. I'm not defending Liam in any way. He's a monster. But
Did I
for the past,
misrepresent him in any way else? I don't.
No. I just don't think that people quite understand, or if they do understand, they don't really care. So if you do understand, you don't care, that's cool. That's kind of where I'm at. I don't really care. But you have to understand that Liam has contracts outside of Comicsgate. You understand? So if there are a number of things that are out on Google, for instance, or YouTube, where there's just ridiculous allegations against him, that gets back to other people that have dealings with him. It also gets back to other contractors, and we don't all see behind the scenes what his direct messages are from customers and from his clients. And we don't get to see how many people contact him each day asking whether the rumors are true and can they get a refund because they can't support a wife beater, etc.
So forgive me, Oz. Didn't you get upset at Edwin for something similar?
What's that?
So
I have no idea what he's talking
Edwin
about.
was throwing around threats because of how he was being characterized, and he said it was bleeding into his, professional and personal life. And I think he even sent you a letter, a cease and desist or something like that. So
I think the difference in this is Edwin chose to be CG and get into arguments with people and things. I don't think Liam antagonized anybody on purpose. There is a bit of a difference.
I think there are similarities, and I think that's where it's a bit of a gray area, and that's why I put out a let people do what they want to do scenario. But I'm not the one that has my real name and face out there that's having to deal with this. And with regard to Edwin, I did actually take that on board because I don't have every show of mine dedicated to the denigration of Edwin Boyette. You know what I mean? So if every Oz show was about Edwin, I would be comfortable with Edwin suing me and saying, look, you're defaming me on every single show of yours. Like, you won't stop. I've asked you to stop, blah, blah, blah. And that's cool. But if it's like one show out of 50 or what have you, then I think that's a different scenario. And I think we need to look into it as being different scenarios when we look at what's going on with Liam.
Yeah, but I still think he should take down the strikes. It's not a good look either which way.
No, it's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. It's not a good look for Comicsgate.
Well, last night's stream wasn't a good look for CG. If anybody new walked into our stream yesterday, they would be like, "These people are crazy."
But everyone in Comicsgate is crazy. That's the issue here. Like, this is the thing that people need to understand. Everyone involved in comics is actually, from what I understand, clinically insane. Apart from, say, Ethan Van Sciver, probably John Malin, myself. That's about all I can vouch for at the moment.
Thank you for calling me insane.
Well, you're not a creator, are you, Amit?
No.
Yeah, I'm just talking about creators, not the fans. The fans are great. The fans are great. Slick Rick says, Oz's show are never a good look for CG. And Joseph says, not everyone is at the same level of crazy that Liam is at, though. Well, that's true. Now, I'm going to give a little bit of air to this sour dog bitch. Vicky, if you want to come on, you can come on. She says, Liam had a restraining order issued against him and he lied about it for months. That's not a rumor. If the truth brings people around to not wanting to do business with Liam, that's his fault problem. Well, here's your fault / problem, is that he didn't have a restraining order issued against him. He didn't lie about it for months. And he didn't have a restraining order issued for what you say he did. So that's there's a multiple things. When you just and this is the sort of stuff that I'm talking about. So Vicky and these other people, they will go on someone's stream like Mike S. Miller, and they'll play this game of dropping falsities like this one, right? And then Liam will say, look, that's just, it's libel. You can't just say this shit about me without proof. And they do this on everyone's stream, everywhere on the internet.
We're forgetting about things being illegal, right? Didn't Mike have a tax lien on him? I think that's far worse. You're not paying the government your taxes.
Yeah, but Ethan doesn't go on everyone's stream telling, and his sole focus in life. So this is the thing. These people have their sole focus on life as Liam. I don't understand. He's just this small, fat koala who writes comics and has a really small YouTube show. The kind of obsessive behavior around Liam. Sorry?
The obsession is weird.
Yeah, the obsession is weird, and that's what it's about. And so
who are you talking about? Who are the people that obsess over him?
Basically everyone.
Nasser?
Well, I think we're all a bit, we all know who it is because they keep coming on my show talking about him, and every time they have a show, it's titled Liam does this, Liam does that.
But it was Nasser, Mike, and the trash compactor show that got struck. So those are pretty disconnected groups, I think.
I don't think that the trash compactor show is a separate group. I think that is the the hive of scum and villainy that is promoting all this. It's the how many shows has that trash compactor show focused on Liam? Would you say it's like 90% of their shows? You know what I mean? So when you have this constant harassment of a person like with just libel, like it's not even like, hey, Liam's fat and stupid and ugly and like orange and he doesn't know what he's doing and he's a shit writer, blah, blah, blah. That's all cool. That's all fair game. That's all opinion. But when you say, well, actually, Liam Gray has a conviction for armed robbery, that is libel. Like that's just like, you're just making some shit up and then you're getting some Photoshop documents and presenting them as fact. And then you're spreading that.
You can't character assassinate somebody.
Yeah. And that is actually illegal. I mean, you know, look, I keep saying, look, I don't really care. And it's true. It's not my problem. But let's just say this is your problem and people are obsessed about you and they are doing this to your business. And when you go to get a girlfriend and they Google you and it comes up wife beater and pedophile, I mean, these are real issues, right? I mean, these are issues that we need to like resolve, surely. And I know Liam has approached these people individually, people like Testify HD. He's had a backroom meeting with Liam and they have agreed on camera together verbally that he will not harass Liam anymore about this nonsense and he won't like do this bullshit, right? He won't say this like false stuff. And Testify has agreed to this, right? And there's been third parties there that have seen this agreement. And then a couple of weeks later, it's another show about Liam Gray and just lies. So at what point does Liam say, look, if you keep, you know, he says to if you keep harassing me and lying and libel, I am suing you. Like, this is what he's saying to them. Like, I'm in the process of suing you for this because it is actual shit you're saying. You're not just making fun of me like, oh, you're on white drugs or whatever, you know, that's a joke. But they don't listen. They say one thing and then they're like, yeah, okay, we won't do it. Yeah, fair enough. That is illegal, blah, blah, blah. Yes, the lawyers have contacted us. Yes, we'll drop it. They just keep doing it. So he says to them, look, if you do it one more time, you're out of here. They do it one more time. He says, all right, you're out of here. And what you have to understand is he does have legal proceedings against certain people that are involved in shows that you're on, Well Read. And some of these people that are on these shows that you're on have extensive criminal records, right? They have extensive violent criminal records and records for stalking and this kind of behavior.
I'm sorry, how do you know that?
Because I've seen the police reports. Because I've seen the police reports. And Liam has come out and said, look, I've got the police reports. And I just want you to know that these people are out there defending, saying, oh, don't strike this show, don't do this, don't do that. These are like some of the scummiest people in the world. Well, Red, you were hanging around with like some of the scummiest people on the internet. I'm just telling you now. I don't care. There's no guilt by association. I'm just telling you right now that when all this comes out and you see the kind of people that you're promoting, that you're being with, all these people that are like, essentially like the shitty web comics guys, right? The Incel brothers. The reason this arc of what's happening now with the shows that Liam's striking is the same arc as what happened with SWC. Right? So what happened with SWC is they obsessed over Liam and said a whole bunch of horrible things about him. Like not just jokes, but like really nasty things and said there was proof and blah, blah, blah. Now, YouTube is contacted. First of all, they were negotiated with. They refused negotiation. YouTube was contacted. They were issued a copyright strike to take them down immediately. They whined about that copyright strike just as certain trash compactors are whining about it now. But then YouTube investigated their show, investigated what they said, and they stripped them of their show entirely because what they were doing was wrong. And that wasn't a copyright strike. It's just the copyright strike led into the community strike. Right? So that is what's happening here. And that's what people need to understand is that, yeah, the optics of using a copyright strike is bad and it's stupid. And I don't agree with him doing it. Right? And I've said that. You don't. It's what he's doing is actually right for Liam, but the way he's doing it may not be for the rest of us, right? We see it as a copyright strike that's been issued against these channels, and we go, what the fuck? That means that anyone can be copyright struck. But the actual issue isn't the copyright strike, it's what's coming next. And that's the community guideline strike for stalking and harassment. And that is what is going to remove the compactor show, right? Because they refuse to remove all the libel and the slander. So when they go on to say NASA's show, or they go on to Mike's show, these same people that have like been issued like legal writs against them, and they do the exact same behavior on their show, and then Liam contacts Mike and NASA and says, "Look, I'm suing these guys. Can you just edit that shit out of your show because this is like an ongoing legal battle, and these guys are actually like breaking the law all the time, and can you just do that?" And they say, "No, fuck off." Then he says, "Well, you're going to suffer the same consequence. If you have these scumbags on your show saying the same thing, this is what's going to happen. You're going to get a copyright strike, then you're going to get a community strike, and you're going to be faced with the fact that you'll be like removed from YouTube, and not just your show, you may not be able to stream ever again on that platform. You may be removed because of this shit." And that's what I don't think people quite understand. Now, whether or not we agree with it, like there are some people that believe in free speech absolution. I wouldn't say that. Mr. Dongs, I'm not lying. Liam issued strikes against Miller and NASA for including content from extra stripes. Yes and no. He actually did the one, I believe, for Miller for impersonation, which again is stupid, right? But he would lose it. Like if he came on, like we've got your boy Zach comes on my show and does a funny bit, whatever. If your boy Zach tried to copyright strike me for impersonation on that, he would lose it. Like it wouldn't hold up. But you have to understand the copyright strike isn't the issue. That's just what we're being blinded with because we don't understand what the fuck Liam's doing, because he's doing it in some weird kind of way. But essentially what he's doing is he's saying, stop right now. And then because the copyright strikes stop you immediately, and then the community strikes stop you permanently, but they take 4 to 6 weeks to work out because YouTube actually sends 2 people in and they view the streams, and Liam has to send them the timestamps and all the rest of it, and then they go through and they go, oh shit, like yeah, you haven't got a conviction for beating your wife, you haven't got a conviction for pedophilia, you haven't got a conviction from the RSPCA for killing dogs, like then they look at all the other stuff that's been said on these people's shows, and they just kill it. They kill it dead. And I've been telling people for a while now, look, cut it out. Like, you don't need to worry. You don't need to worry about Liam Gray. Liam Gray is just some, he's just like some guy in Australia writing comics. Why are we so obsessed with Liam Gray?
A lot of people are worried that Liam will just randomly strike any channel. That's what the fear is.
Yeah, that is the absolute concern, and that's why I'm saying the optics of what he's doing with the copyright strikes are incredibly bad, and I think it's confused the issue entirely. Everyone is like, well, this is ridiculous because we're trying to have fun here. We're trying to go on people's shows. We're trying to dress up and, you know, a bit of, if I don't like someone, I should be able to say NASA's a cunt, Mike S.
Yeah,
Miller's a
people
douchebag,
wanna
whatever,
shit
you know,
talk,
stuff like that. But
Yeah,
like when
people want to
Berserk
shit
was
talk
on
and they
yesterday
can
on my
shit
show
talk.
saying, oh, NASA's a pedo and shit like that. And I say, no, look, there's a line that you can't cross, because I can't have people on my show accusing someone of being a pedo when they're not, or that I don't know that they are. Like, if it was a joke and then NASA contacted me again and said, can you retract that joke? I'd be like, yeah, sure. But I don't know. It's a messy situation. Like, you know, if it's kind of funny when you say something about someone and they contact you to stop saying it. But if that is the only narrative that is out there about you, you can understand why that needs to.
I think a lot of
and it's affecting your contracts. I mean, imagine if you had a contract for, you know, $500,000 or what have you, and then they Google you and it comes back with all that shit, and then you lose that $500,000. All of a sudden, you're going to be pissed off, right? The cost of a lawyer to fuck off all these guys is probably worth it at that point.
But Oz, don't you think if you're going to put yourself out on the internet, right, such as CD creators do, they put themselves out on the internet, they should be willing to let any contracts with other companies go void, because eventually other parties, maybe not even people in CG, but maybe other parties might attack them to try to get their business out.
Yeah, but I mean, where do we stand on, say, Johnny Depp?
I think, what's there to stand on that? Each company can do what they want. Is it correct? No. But what can we do about it? Nothing.
But do you think do you think he was right or wrong in seeking legal action against Amber Heard?
No, he should have. He has all the right to seek legal action. And then Warner Brothers has and Disney have the right, if they want to fire him, that's their choice. Let people do what they want.
Yeah, but is it like
is it morally right? Well, is it morally right? Well, that's a whole separate issue, you know.
But that's kind of what we're discussing, isn't it? Because legally he's allowed to do this, but we're discussing whether or not it's appropriate for a Comicsgater or someone involved in independent comics to do something like this.
But I think
so. This is a moral issue. It's not a technical legal issue. I mean, legally, these people aren't allowed to say this stuff, right? About Liam.
I get your point, but I think Ethan said it best, right? If you're gonna declare CG, be ready for any other contracts outside of CG to basically become null and void.
Yeah, I mean, look, you and I are different people, though, right? Like, I wouldn't, if my ex-wife was going around saying I beat her, I probably wouldn't sue. But then I'm not someone whose work is based on my reputation as an actor. So this is hypothetical, even.
I got that.
You know what I mean? So we're all in a slightly different situation. It's very difficult for us to judge what should and shouldn't be done. Yeah, I mean, if I was Johnny Depp, wouldn't sue. But then again, maybe if I was being told that I wasn't getting any other job.
She did assassinate him. To be fair, you know, she did.
That's what I mean. Like that sort of, and she set him up, and she staged photos, and you know, and she did an awful lot of things, like release fake pictures of her with a black eye, which was revealed to be makeup, apparently. That kind of shit shouldn't really stand, right? And that's the kind of shit that people are doing to Liam. So in this situation, Liam is Johnny Depp, handsome fellow. And these people are Amber Heard, just making shit up and like doing stuff. And it's like, at what point
that's
does
an interesting
Liam...
analogy.
Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. And that's where I think the discussion... Sorry, Emmett. This is where I think the discussion should be around that sort of... Yeah, no, I'm talking over you. This is where the discussion, I think, should live in that space of, let's say Liam is Johnny Depp, and let's say the people are Amber Heard and they're faking injuries and saying he beat her and all this stuff. Should Liam seek remedy? I say yes, but should it be through copyright strikes and then community takedowns? I don't think so. So perhaps he is doing it the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't think copyright strikes is the way to go. If he wants to take legal action, sure, pursue legal action. That's something.
As long as we understand that it's not about copyright. Do you know what I mean? Like this argument, what's going on at the moment isn't about copyright.
About it, right?
I know. The optics are it's about copyright, and that's why, you know, people are going on shows saying, oh, you know, if we all do this, then we're all fucked, sort of thing. But I think
also Liam. I think maybe Liam should go on and tell people that they shouldn't be worried that he'll strike them randomly. Him going on and saying people should fear me, that kind of scares a lot of people, you know, and people actually start believing him.
Yeah, Mr. Chong says,
I know it's a joke, but a lot of people don't take it as a joke. Though.
Mr. Chong says, Oz, you and Liam deserve to be deplatformed back. If you go through this, that is why you don't do this. Liam Oz is not a thing. I'm not. I mean, I did go through a period there where I was being deplatformed by these scumbags. You know what I mean? It's like my show was being targeted for a while there for about 4 weeks, where I couldn't do a show without it being kicked off the air. So I have been through this, so I do know how much it sucks. But look, I don't have the solution. I just have the problems that are in front of us. And I think we need to.
I think Liam also he plays into it a bit by saying, "Oh, I'm a tyrant. I'll strike you down. Nobody can take any of my copyrighted material." Blah 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 blah. Maybe you should tone down the rhetoric a bit and be a little bit more serious and have a serious discussion like we're having, rather than just turn everything into a joke.
Vickyverse says, if the argument isn't about copyright, then Liam shouldn't be using the DMIC to lash out at Oz. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all agree on that.
Yeah, I think everyone agrees on this, Vicky. And this is why I'm saying, like, this is the argument that everyone is stuck on. But what I'm trying to get Liam to do is to shift this argument into what it's about. And
are you giving him legal counsel?
No, I'm giving him moral counsel. I give him as much counsel as I can give him. But I think if he was able to pivot the argument,
is Wellred dead?
This is
he's not talking.
Just listening. I just think that this is also a very similar argument.
Are you going to participate or just?
I'm letting Oz have his say. I can definitely.
Well, I mean, this is a similar argument.
This is an open
I guess.
Platform. I mean, you came on to talk, so talk.
Well, I'm not going to talk over anyone. I want them to make their point, and then I'll try to respond if they want me to. So, I mean, I have a lot of thoughts about what Oz is saying.
What do you say?
Well, so first, I wonder where Saturday Night Live would be if things like community guideline strikes existed. I think it's a public forum. I think there's a lot of entertainment that goes on here. I think that Liam doesn't help his argument when he is going after channels like Mike and Nasser's. It just makes it seem like it's all a big tantrum, frankly. And if you have problems with these individuals and you're confronting them and it's costing you money and it affects your business, there has to be a way to... Sorry? Anyway, so there has to be a way to discount some of that. Like, yeah, I do spend time with the people in the trash compactor. I've been on that show. I'm not even familiar, honestly, with a lot of these things that Oz is talking about, and like beating up grandmothers. I think yesterday was the first time I heard a lot of this stuff. And Liam doesn't seem to be taking it very seriously, frankly. He just seems to be lashing out at everybody. And if this was a legal thing and something that he actually needed to file in a civil suit, I don't think he would be posturing the way that he is, and acting like he's justified. And this, I don't know, kind of like a high school forum doing this on social media, doing a
You think
cock
it's
measuring contest or something. I don't know what the goal is here.
you think
Then
it's political theater kind of thing?
a lot of it, yeah, I don't see it really being taken seriously by anyone, and I don't see why anyone should take it seriously. I don't take it seriously. I hear these stupid things. I have no idea if Liam beat his grandmother or not. Like I don't really care. I don't think it would affect me doing business with him. If I was ever in that position, I wouldn't do business with him based on the way he behaves in the streams. He's erratic and unstable, frankly. And so it would be those things that I would judge him by, not weird postings on stupid message boards like Kiwi Farms or something childish like that. And then this whole thing about these people having criminal records, I don't know how that kind of information would actually make its way to Australia. You would have to have, I think, an ongoing open case against them to know that kind of thing. So I just find a lot of this um, Gossip Girls bizarre, to be honest. And that's why I just don't take it very seriously. Um, I might
But
be more empathetic to Liam in all of this if Liam did por- demonstrate that he was genuinely affected by it, and wasn't an active participant in it. Frankly, I mean, he was ranting yesterday about how he's giving Comicsgate content and he's being discussed on 3 streams, and he seemed to relish in all of this. And he thinks it sells his book when even EVS is asking him for a refund because he went after these channels that have nothing to do with this little drama that's been drummed up here. So I just don't find any of this very serious, to be honest. So I'm sorry, Oz. I know maybe there's an aspect of it that I'm not, privy to, but just from my very uh, surface level perspective and everything I've seen and heard, it's the internet. It's hard to know what's real and what isn't, and a lot of it is just for clicks and views. So I don't think anyone should invest their emotions into it too much. And I'm sorry if it is having a palpable effect for you, Oz, or even for Liam. I don't really wish him ill. I just wish he would settle down, maybe detach from the internet a little. Um, but yeah, it's just hard from my perspective to take it very seriously. So that's my say.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think on people posting things on, like, if you search his name? I don't know.
Well, I'm on
Nothing
Kiwi
on it.
Farms, accused of being autistic because I came on here criticizing. Maybe I am a little autistic. I don't know, but I came on here arguing about war campaign, and I had a half-wit like Pan, a little monkey, jumping around me and arguing like we were still in the 8th grade. And because I tried to discuss with him and he tried to throw feces at me, I'm autistic. So whatever, I don't care. Kiwi
Oh,
Farms
can you do
is
one
like,
thing? Can you
it
put up a
faces
Google search and
7-year-olds.
see if this stuff actually comes up?
I've
That would,
I've Googled my
I'm
well-read
talking
name
about
before.
Liam's
Oh,
name.
yeah.
That would sort out a lot of bullshit. I think.
Oz fell asleep.
No, I'm just reading the chat.
Oh,
Mr. Dong says, so you see why I question Oz's line of reasoning that this is about defamation because it's pursued through copyright strikes of people who have never defamed him. I think that the copyright strikes against NASA and Mike should be removed or abandoned. But there will probably be all I would say is that it would probably be best if there was no airing of any sort of defamation, like of Liam on those shows, just for their benefit, if you know what I mean.
I think Liam should just walk away. Just take away the strikes.
Liam just seems very triggered by things on the internet. When I hear him say that he has genuine friendships with these, GIFs and
I thought that was
icons,
a bit.
I don't know. He gets very, emotional.
At least I've taken it as a bit. But maybe I'm wrong.
No. He's very offended. If you befriend him on a message board and you have a little bunny rabbit picture or a business guy or a clam, and you're saying things and he thinks you have a genuine relationship with him, and then somehow you betray him, and he makes correlations to things that happen in the real world, not on the internet, and he views them as betrayals, and then he takes them very personal. There's like a problem there with reality. He doesn't disassociate very well. He just takes everything very literally, I think. I don't think that's healthy. So I feel bad for him. I know he's had an injury. He has personal issues. I don't like the way he talks to me, but, I talk back and then I let it go. So, but genuinely, I feel bad for him. I wish he, wouldn't take the internet so seriously, frankly. Everybody here is fapping half the time they're on it. So, like, why are you listening to anything these people are saying? Everybody logs on just to get off. So, just ignore them. Jabba's the worst. He's fapping 80% of the time.
P Money says, Oz, your show defamed Mike, saying he would never fulfill Lone Star 2. I remember that. How is that any better? Yeah, that wouldn't be, to be honest. If I went on everyone's show and my life was dedicated to saying that Lone Star 2 would never come out, that would essentially be opinion, really. But if Lone Star 2 came out and I said it never came out, that would be a different story, wouldn't it? Or if I said that, I don't know, Mike rapes his. I mean, I don't even want to say this shit. It's like,
Edwin,
just shit
are you saying
you
would retract that statement if Mike asked you to retract it?
Exactly.
Edwin had a long-standing reputation of being a cokehead, and his real name was here and his face, and he was running for office in Hawaii. So yeah, he definitely had an effect from his time on the internet. But
I don't think any Republican is going to win in Hawaii.
they probably don't care that he's a cokehead. It probably endeared him to them. So
probably, yeah, because that's such a blue state anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, buyer beware. I mean, Edwin walked into the internet, showed everybody his face. Like when Twitless was doing that, I just kept thinking, what are you thinking? Do not show your face on the internet when you do this dumb stuff. This is just a pastime. Don't make this an aspect of your life. So, because you never know the people that are on the internet. I mean, there's a whole area of the internet dedicated to just trying to steal your identity and take all your money. I mean, go on the dark web and, look at child trafficking and all this stuff. The internet is not some safe space playground for you to come in happy-go-lucky, show all your information, give your personal life, and then expect it to reciprocate the way, your neighborhood would, or, the kids you grew up with playing with. It's full of all kinds of, dregs. So,
well, I mean, I would disagree in that the internet is essentially part of everybody's life now. So I don't think that trying to hide from it and worrying about doxing and things like that is a healthy way to go. I think there has to be, especially if you're going to be promoting your product and yourself. And this is sort of where it's going to be difficult for Liam. Hang on a sec.
What was
Oh.
Oz doing with that vacuum?
Maybe he opened a window. I don't know.
I think he got stuck in it.
No. He's not.
Sorry, a bit of hairdryer action going on in the background.
Some suction going on there.
Yeah. I mean, it's the difficult thing for Liam in this scenario is that it's not necessarily what people say about you, but it's how you respond to what people say about you. And I think that is
he's his own man. Let him do what he wants.
Well, yes and no. He may be his own man, but he's also responsible for other people. It is very much the situation of like we've got with Marvel editors and things. The things they say publicly are important because they reflect on the company. The things that the way Liam responds.
They destroy their own people so well. Didn't you see that Dan Slott documentary?
I know, right?
That's pretty much character assassination right there. I don't know.
Yeah, so you can't.
I wonder if that could be classed as slander. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it could be. But it's a corporation doing that, right?
It could be, except it's more about. I don't think you can have it as.
If you've taken part in it yourself, it can't be done.
No, I'm just wondering. You probably can't because it's not being classed as journalism. They can say anything about you. People can say anything about you in the media if they say so-and-so sources say this.
More contracts than anything, I'm not sure any future employer would see that documentary and be like, yeah, I should hire this guy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, employers do look at your online profile when making hiring decisions. It actually behooves the HR department to see if you have a history. Say you're part of some radical group or something, and you've got posts on your Facebook profile. So that stuff matters. I would not use my real name to associate myself with these activities, even if I wasn't doing anything wrong. You just never know how it could be misconstrued. So, but Liam is promoting himself as a brand, which I get. And I think corporate promotion is very different from personal social media. I know that we're in a gray area. It's tough to figure out. And I think you have to walk a fine line. I think a lot of people are making mistakes and they're learning those lessons. But my personal feeling is it's better to be cautious rather than to be reckless. And I think Liam is pretty reckless.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is a depressing topic. Can we talk about something else? I mean, it's so heavy and so calm. I think this is
it is. But you know what? This is something that affects all of us. So I think we should talk about it. And I think we should discuss ways to go forward for Liam, and I think ways to go forward for people.
We're not going to make him his legal strategy, are we? I mean, it seems a bit.
No, but this is, as I said, it's we can't determine what Liam does legally. We can't determine what action he's taking, or what have you. But we can talk about maybe the reasons behind it. We can talk about whether it's the right thing or the wrong thing, and we can talk about what sort of ramifications this has for other people in Comicsgate. Other channels, people outside of Comicsgate that have valid criticisms of what we're doing and how we're doing.
A personal question?
Yeah.
Why aren't you willing to meet Risey?
Because he's gonna fucking glass me in the head.
Well,
a very simple reason.
Risey does that to everybody.
I don't.
And that's not slander. That's reality. There have been times where he has said that he's going to glass me. So I'm not casting aspersions on his character here. This is reality.
No, I think you should meet him. That would be a good IRL stream. You having a.
Are you really in Jakarta? Emmett?
Me?
Yeah.
Not currently.
No. I was going to come visit you. Anyway, too bad.
I'm not currently there. No.
Okay.
And
Will you be there at any stage?
Maybe in the next 2 months, but after January.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, well, we can't leave Australia yet anyway. Next year sometime, I'll hang out with you and your wife and your sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law. Hey.
Johnny Midnight says his damage to his business is how he reacts. Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, his
that
reactions
is a
are
valid
phenomenal.
point. Yeah, that's a valid point that people have been
I
saying
think we
all
all
along.
agree on that. Yeah.
I think everyone agrees on that fact that the current damage to in terms of like, you know, at the moment is what's going on now.
Far
I
worse
think
than anything
usually
the trash
he blows
compactor
up.
could do.
He blows up a bit too much. Me personally, if you ask me, he's a little bit high strung as an individual.
The trash compactor is ignorable and dismissible. If it ever got brought up in some business dealing that Liam was engaged in, he could always say it's a parody show. And you just have to watch more than just one episode that isn't about Liam to figure that out. So I don't think any logical person trying to do business with Liam would hold that against him.
Kiss.
Mwah. There you go, Oz.
I love you too.
I love you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna leave this room. This is not where
No, don't leave yet. Don't leave yet, Raymond.
I kiss my kids before coming on stream, Oz. Just
yeah, but I'm living underwater and people floating.
right.
Risey Lee for Australian $5.
Can have fun. I'll leave if you guys want privacy.
No.
Okay.
We can give you a kiss.
Do you want to read
Amit.
this out for me, Amit, while you're here?
I can't read chats.
Okay.
I'm on my phone.
I can do it.
English second language. I got to read it. As Risey. Ready?
All right.
Listen here, sweetheart. If you can't handle the internet, stay off YouTube. I've no mercy for soft folk cunts. This goes for everyone. Thank you, Risey. Very good.
This has been one of your calmest streams, Oz. Nobody's yelling, nobody's screaming. Do you feel happy about it?
Oz is all about dichotomy. Yesterday was not like this.
I think his head is a little bit tired from last night.
It's because he's got his family there, so he's being a good boy today.
Mr. Chongs is really angry at me today. He says Oz not paying attention to his own show again. Fucking joke. Calm down, Mr. Chongs. I'm on your side here.
Is he becoming like me in the chat, always yelling at you for not respecting the chat and following the chat?
I'm not sure. Bob Bug with one eyes is king. What is that avatar you've got there, Bob? It said CG doesn't do logic. That's right. We're emotional beings. There were people that said, how dare your boy Zach take legal action against, what's his name? Scumbag?
Mark Wade.
How dare he?
That was Dan Shahan, right?
Dan Shahan said that was the most evil
Despicable
act. He said evil. That was the most evil thing that a person could possibly do in the comic book industry was take legal action against Mark Wade for his interfering in your boy Zach's business.
That was fairly direct, so I don't see that as a problem.
You don't see that as a problem?
No, he directly involved himself in an ongoing business negotiation. He soured one of the parties by directly attacking somebody's reputation. So, yeah. business deals, I think, can be fragile things.
There are elements, aren't there though? There's elements in similarity. That's what I want to explore a little bit. I mean, we accept that without question, don't we? I mean,
Well, you could.
Well, half the people question it. Half the people say, Zach has got no case. He's being a scumbag. He's just doing this to shut Mark Waid up, and that's essentially what we're saying about Liam, isn't it? He's just trying to shut these people up. He's got no case against them.
I'm not saying it couldn't have no effect. Liam could enter into business. Sorry, go ahead, Ahmad.
Sorry, Walred. I'm talking over you. Finish your point.
Well, I was going to say, I'm not going to say it has no effect. Liam could always enter into business with people who are very simple-minded and they believe everything they read on the internet. And the minute they read anything negative about Liam, they get triggered and run off. I just think most reasonable people understand the forum that the internet is and would not take a lot of those things seriously. They'd want to see something to actually prove some of these claims and not just take some YouTube show word for it. So,
but well, Red, I think maybe Oz has a point. Like, look at the Amber Heard situation. She just made allegations, and then Johnny Depp just got fired. Even after he proved the fact that they were fake, they still went through.
Johnny Depp was not tried in the court of public opinion. He was tried in a court. And so she made those allegations. What was fucked up about that is they bothered to go to court in the UK where they have a bunch of feminist judges. And literally the judge said, I believe everything Amber Heard said because she said it. And that's considered evidence. So there were examples where police were called to their home. There were injuries to Johnny Depp that he accused her of perpetuating. And yeah, the judge said that, Amber Heard said that he did it to himself. And because she said it, that's evidence. So she wins. Like, I've never heard of such a fucked up kangaroo court in my entire life. That would never fly in the US.
Well, it would, because there's special laws in the US and in the UK to protect people for domestic violence. The reason the judgment, what the judge said was stupid, but the actual conclusion, like the dismissal of the case, was actually correct legally, because you probably know that if someone accuses you of, say, raping them, if a woman accuses you of raping them and then you go to court and it's shown that she lied about the accusations, she does not get put onto criminal charges. There is argument whether or not that should occur.
No. My point is, this happens in all these former empire colonies. This is a British thing, and it probably happens in Australia, and it probably happens in Canada, and it happens in the UK. It doesn't happen in the rest of the world. This assumption of innocence for women in all circumstances. Family law is really fucked up in those countries.
I would totally disagree with you there, Well Read. And I think that if you had a look at divorce courts, if you had a look at what John Cleese had to go through in California with his ex-wife, I think you would find that it's just the same in the US, depending, of course, on what state you're in.
Yeah.
But you cannot sue. And this is the problem that Johnny Depp had in the UK, is you can't sue a victim. An alleged victim for what they say happened to them. It just doesn't occur. And so when he tried to sue the paper for saying just repeating what Amber Heard said.
Yeah, they were quoting her. Yeah.
That's right. They're quoting her, right? So he has to prove to the court that on no occasion ever in his history did he hit her. And that's just not something that the court is going to allow, because they have hundreds of cases each day that come through of women that say they've been abused.
Basically, the law is there to make sure that women feel empowered to report domestic.
But it's anyone, really. If anyone follows
women or men,
through, and you can't sue every single person who's found, found not guilty. Like the person that is not guilty can't sue the other party. Like, it just doesn't work that way. And that's why the case fell down in the UK. The judge was stupid in their remarks, in my opinion, for like basically saying that, you know, Amber Heard was a wonderful person, which, you know, it's ridiculous. Well, we're looking at different evidence here. What's going on?
Well, the police report is the evidence. That's the point. She can't accuse him of hitting her if she doesn't have a police report filed or any kind of evidence to demonstrate that. And that's the thing that I don't understand in that UK case. They didn't consider that. And he had police evidence, you know, of cigarette burns, and I don't know about the pooping in the bed. I don't know exactly how that gets assessed. But yeah, he had proof that she was physically abusing him, and she just claimed that he did it himself, and the judge accepted that as fact.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of stupid, but it's also Johnny Depp's problem is that he has to prove that at no point in his entire relationship with her did he actually strike her, because that is what the newspaper said she said. And she said, yes, he did strike me.
But why does he have to prove that if there's no counter evidence to suggest that he did?
Because he's suing for defamation. This is the problem. He's suing for the newspaper for defamation. So he's the one that has to prove it. He's not.
So he's guilty until proven innocent.
No, he's the prosecutor. He's prosecuting the paper for saying this wrong thing. So he has to prove that it's a wrong thing. This is how the criminal justice system works. If someone sues you, they've got to prove that you did the wrong thing. You don't have to prove shit. The Sun didn't even have to turn up if they didn't want to. They just send their lawyer saying, "Nah, it's right."
Well, I think you're boring.
Defamation is an uphill battle.
I don't know. I think that the point of suing about defamation is you're suing for damages, right? And so the wrong thing that occurred is any kind of loss that you suffered because of what was stated. And so then it is on the paper's responsibility to prove that what was stated was fact, to justify why those damages were incurred. That's the way I understand defamation. But, you know, maybe I'm misunderstanding exactly the argument that you're making.
Well, yeah, the argument is that is it defamation if he actually did it? And that's what Amber Heard says. She turns up in court, says, no, he did it. The judge says, well, what the fuck am I meant to do here? It's like she says she did it. The newspaper reported on her remarks, and Johnny Depp's here saying, no, I didn't. Well, how's he meant to rule in that case?
Okay, so he wasn't suing for damages. Maybe that's the issue. There were certainly damages because of the judgment, though. He lost his job.
Yeah, but I mean that's you know that's got.
Yeah, but he's getting a parachute payment, so $10 million. He should be okay.
Spirit Scar says something interesting here. Edwin copyright claimed EVS. I wasn't aware of this actually. EVS challenged the claim, stating his use of Edwin's content was for commentary purposes. EVS won. Are Liam's detractors not able to win their claims? Do we have any idea of what that was about?
No.
No, no one knows. Spirit Scar, do you want to tell us about that?
Bring him in.
Yeah, come in if you want. Hang on, let me just post it in the chat because I don't have his DM. Now, I've been accused of... Hang on, let me have a look here.
So I'm going to get going. I don't want to be on the stream with Spirit Scar. The guy's an idiot. So.
Oh, okay. Well, hang around. I won't bring you on. I won't bring him on just yet then.
Okay.
Here we go. What have we got here?
What's your issue with him?
He just says the stupidest stuff on the stream. He actually makes me want to watch the show less. So.
Ah.
Oh, well.
You don't think
he
helpful?
says more dumb things than Berserk. I understand where Berserk comes from with the stuff that he says. Where's Spirit Scar come from? I don't know. Some masturbatory, drug-induced, whatever, self-abused pervert. Just a psycho.
You really feel.
Yeah. Not holding back. That guy is really just a weirdo.
Well, so you were on Berserk side when he much pissed off at Spirit.
Yeah, I'm on Berserk's side most of the time, except when he's against me, and even then I'm on his side. So, yeah.
Would you be a power bottom? Would you say?
I would. Yeah, I would.
He's trying to take Risey's place.
Oh, you missed my super chat and my previous live chat telling you that you missed my super chat. This is what happens when I work too much. Like when I do too much talking, when I say too much, I miss. DA Talks, will you please repeat what you said? Not in a super chat, just because it's not showing up on StreamYards. Occasionally, StreamYards does this funny thing where it doesn't show each of them. So if you could just type it out again, and I'll bring it up. Everyone in the audience says that it happens. So what do we think about that then? Do we think what's our opinion on that then?
I don't know the specifics, so I don't have an opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be kind of stupid to have an opinion on something I didn't know about, right?
EVS stream sniped an entire Edwin Chogo across the line. You know, this does bring up a bit of a problem. And I think that this is where the confusion is. It's the copyright issue. I really wish Liam hadn't gone after in terms of copyright. I really wish he had just stuck with the community guideline strikes. I understand that they take a really long time to process. But I think if he did the strikes purely utilizing the electronic harassment stuff, maybe we would all be a bit more sympathetic to him. What do you think?
Well, did you see Mike's stream immediately after yours? And Berserk and Risey were on that?
No, I had to go and eat.
Yeah. So Mike made the point that this is actually going to hurt Liam because he was false flagging those channels, claiming copyright. And he said that there's a warning when you submit those strikes from YouTube that if this is a false claim, you could have your channel removed permanently. And I think all three of those channels that he struck are anticipating that Liam is actually going to be the one to get shut down from all of this.
Yeah, but he has, whatever, 2 weeks to...
You'll have to talk back into your phone again, Amit.
I said he has 2 weeks to take it back, right? The strike. So sure.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I to be honest, I don't really care too much. I think that using copyright strikes to speed up the process of having people removed for other stuff they're doing,
that's cheap and
is
low.
probably not the right way to go. And I think that's where the optics are for everyone at the moment. And I think, you know, that Ethan has sort of put his foot down as well. And I think he said, you know, this isn't the right way to go. It puts us all in a vulnerable position because who determines what is harassment, who determines what is copyright, all the rest of it, you know.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe if YouTube starts looking into this, they might say that all CD channels are not worth having.
That's right. We don't want to get into a situation where everyone in CG is a harassment or is a harasser, because I think that that's something that we've been accused of in the past, falsely. Criticism is not harassment. But then if every EVS stream is about Heather Antos, does it become harassment? We've got these new YouTube rules that have been brought in to deal with continually something.
Doing videos on somebody, right?
Yeah, continually doing multiple videos targeting someone. That's going to become an issue for YouTube.
I wonder how that works with reaction channels, because that's all they do.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm not exactly sure, and I think everyone's a bit worried about it. People like Tug and that are worried about it. I think that's why Tug removed his association with what's going on at the moment, because this is something that directly affects him. And how many Amber Heard videos do you do before it becomes harassment? You know, I mean, it makes him a lot of money, but I don't know. I think this is the cusp. This is the Wild West we're in here.
And
Well,
how does that work with news?
What do you mean?
Well, suppose you're following a story, right? You're going to have multiple updates on that story.
I think the news is protected by most things.
So
I think
couldn't Tuck
reporting
classify
of
himself
facts.
as a journalist?
Yeah, I think we're talking about. I mean, I think that the laws are kind of stupid in that
I mean,
it's
I
a
guess
gray
Tuck
area.
could-
Who gets to decide? As one of my chatters, the open one's full. I just had a bit of it.
I mean, Tuck could classify himself as a journalist, right? Reporting on. The court.
Yeah, he could. I don't know. I think there's too much gray area in the laws for them to be usable. I think that if someone, you know,
Like how Ethan
someone
says,
who's been
Like
a
how Ethan
vocal
says, he
critic
could be a
of CG
journalist
for a
too.
long time suddenly came out and said CG were harassing him and complained to YouTube and said, if anyone mentions my name on these Comicsgate channels, I want their channels removed. I think we'd be in a bit of trouble.
well,
Yeah,
we're
I
also
mean,
conflating laws.
Just think of
with,
Zombie.
we're also conflating laws with YouTube guidelines, which are not really the same thing.
No,
Terms
but
of
that's
service, whatever the heck.
this is where things getting a bit murky. Yeah, I mean, Liam's forcing us to compare legal issues with YouTube guidelines.
Typically,
stuck.
Typically, those commentary laws don't apply to those commentary protections don't apply to public figures. So, I would think that now that everybody's become a public figure with social media, those protections are going to be relevant less and less. Maybe grandma is still safe, but somebody like Liam, not necessarily.
Wilberforce Wooster says, if Liam only did electronic harassment on the trash compactor, yeah, no one would care. That is reality. What do you think?
I agree with that, actually.
Yeah.
Even though I like those guys and I think they're funny, if somebody kicked them in the nuts, I don't think people would bat an eye because they give it pretty good. So,
DA Talks for $10 says, I think the problem here is, Oz, you've encouraged Liam to respond the way he has. You berserkerize him more. What you say now sounds disingenuous. I've never encouraged Liam to take any action against anybody. And that's all I've got to say about that
I
one.
openly have told Liam not to act like this. I disagree with him almost entirely on everything he says.
Yeah, and we don't all have to agree. And Liam doesn't have to agree with me. I don't have to agree with him.
I think what she's saying, or what he's trying to say, I don't know if DA is a man or girl, is that maybe he feels that the culture on this show does that perpetuate Liam to do crazy things, and I think that's a bit of a stretch.
There are periods where, Liam won't stream. He privates a lot of his streams. He's impacted significantly by this kind of stuff, and that's something that we need to consider as well. If someone asks for help and says this stuff is really affecting me, do we help him or do we just keep laughing?
well, can you give us something tangible? I mean, how exactly is he being affected by these videos?
Apart from emotionally.
Yeah, like, can you put a dollar value on how much money he's lost because of these jokes or whatever they are?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's suing for damages. I think I'm not exactly clear because I'm, to be honest with you, I'm not that interested. But my understanding is that he just wants the content removed.
Yeah. So does this all come down to just his feelings about it? He's offended, or is it more substantive than that?
I think perhaps in the beginning it was a feeling kind of thing, and that's why he fought so strongly against the libel. I think that's why he posted, a lot of incriminating, doxing information on himself online to combat the narrative, because I think he found it really upsetting that people would think this stuff about him. And then I think perhaps it over the last probably 2 to 3 months, perhaps it's affected some other businesses that he's been involved in.
Because that's the way I understand defamation. There has to be damages. If you're a public figure in a paper like in the Inquirer or the Star, and they're saying, Richard Gere had a gerbil in his ass, and that becomes, something that people believe is a fact when it was just a rumor. Unless Richard Gere could show that he wasn't able to get hired for jobs because the Inquirer started that rumor about him, I don't know that he really has grounds to sue them.
I'm not sure. I'm not a lawyer. But all I know is if someone was saying that, someone was writing down online that Joe Smith was a convicted felon and he wasn't a convicted felon, then whoever wrote that would be liable. You know what I mean?
Well, so first we were talking about public versus private figures, but then I don't know if you follow on Twitter, Andy No. There's all these Antifa rioters lately. They get arrested and immediately released in Portland. He's been posting every single one of their mugshots for them to suffer some consequence, since the courts are unwilling to punish them for their rioting activities. And it's mainly to make sure that they're not employable in the future. So those are private individuals.
But he hasn't said like these people were arrested for killing animals.
No, he said rioting, and he would post their mugshot. Then their mugshot is publicly available after they're
But that's
arrested.
what I mean. It's like he said these people were arrested for rioting, and here's their mugshot. But he hasn't said these people were arrested for
And I
abusing
think that
animals.
information is publicly available, right? I don't know.
Yeah, but think about the difference here. You're not saying this person has been arrested for mutilating animals. You're saying, because that would be libel, right? That would be incorrect.
Well, you could ask for your criminal record, and you could prove that that's not true and just some stupid internet rumor.
Yeah,
So
but
I think
what I'm saying is that is actually against the law to do that.
But
that's
for
what I'm talking about.
Well, for a public figure, though, I'm sure all kinds of things get said, and typically they don't have protections to go after every single person that posts something stupid like Johnny Depp,
But I think they
do
have protections, but it's just not, you're just not able, like, logistically to do it. That's what I'm saying. Liam has protections against this stuff.
I don't think so, honestly.
Well, I mean, that's debatable, I guess. But the point is whether or not he's doing the right thing in this circumstance.
This is very boring.
Well, I mean, it's the Inquirers and
I don't
the
find it
Stars.
boring. I find it fascinating. This is our life right now. This is going on right now.
Asleep.
Yeah, it's the Inquirers.
Says, how did you know how much dollars Dean's super chat was for if StreamYard hit it? Vicky, I keep questioning your intellect. I just made up a number. I don't think DA Talks really sent me $10. I don't know what he sent me, but it was probably like $2. For fuck's sake.
So it's the Inquirers and the Star entire business model to go after people because they don't
Johnny
have those
Midnight
protections.
says you have to prove they knew it was a lie, Oz. That is a huge hurdle. Well, not necessarily. Not if you ask them to retract it and they refuse. Look, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to be sitting on the bench judging Liam's case. If Liam wants to take these people to civil court, which he says he will, then that's just, how it is. I think the issue.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite commentator in the chat?
Who's the
Oh.
favorite commentator in the chat? It's definitely not you, Amit.
Well, I know you hate me. That's cool.
There's so many
The
winners
feeling
to
is
choose
mutual.
from.
And who do you find the most annoying?
Bob Bug with on ice. King is king, says these boys. Yeah, fuck you, Bug.
I mean, haven't
Wait,
you ever?
what's your definition?
I mean,
My
what about
definition
TMZ?
of what?
I mean, their whole thing is to talk shit about famous people. Who cares if it's true?
Right, let's put this another way, Oz. Whose chats do you like reading, and whose chat you're like, ugh, this is cringe.
Yeah, this is pretty true here. Sketch 420 says Sketch Therapy is favorite chatter in CD. Sketch is still angry at me. I don't understand why. I haven't said anything bad about Sketch in ages.
Leave him alone. I think.
Yeah, leave
let
him
live
alone.
in his conspiracy world.
I mean, I
He
removed
needs-
his videos, sort of. If my show was about Sketch every day, I mean, other than people getting bored like they do with Trash Compactor, he'd probably have some kind of, moral, if not legal,
Actually, he's
standing to strike me.
leave Sketch alone. I always say you can't once he locks onto some kind of truth. That's his truth. Let it be.
Mr.
can't
Dong
convince
says Oz won the battle, but Sketch won the war. Not quite. The war is the culture war continues, Mr. Dongs.
Apparently, Spirit
want to
Scar
discuss
thinks
politics,
TMZ
Oz?
is all fact. That's why I don't want to talk to that guy. He says the stupidest shit.
Stupendous 989. Liam, I would like my $1,272 AUD refunded for Xenotype. Yes, I can confirm that, and I confirmed that yesterday. And EBS has asked for a refund, not because he, well, I don't know exactly why, but I just don't think he's able to support someone striking people for copyright reasons, because it puts his channel at peril. It puts all of us at peril.
Risk.
Risey Lee says refunds are biases. What do we think about refunds?
The refunds itself
Well read loves refunds, doesn't
is a
it?
biatch. Well, these campaigns aren't charities. If somebody fucks up, get your money back.
I have an interesting topic on this. So I think once you decide to back somebody, right, you shouldn't expect a book or anything back in return, because it says so in Indiegogo, right? This is not shopping. So I don't know why people get obsessed about all this stuff. Like, oh, I backed the book, so where is it? Where is it? Well, you knew what you were getting into. It's not like Amazon where you give them money and you expect a service.
You do have the option for a refund, though.
Yeah, no. I just think like people complaining that my book is late or this is late or that is late. That's weird, but I think refunds are valid if, let's say, everybody else has got their book and you're the only person that's not got a book. In those cases, I think you're valid enough.
I agree with your argument for Mitch Breitweiser. I'm actually happy that he was able to grow his business and get into Walmart. I'd still like to receive something from him for my donation, but I don't begrudge him at all for his success.
Oz has no opinion on this.
Oz is sleeping.
I'm not sleeping. I'm just reading the chat. Yeah. I mean,
And I guess if you don't have the money and you need,
there are so many difficult issues here. It's like,
maybe
yeah, I mean, I'm always like, if you want a refund, refund. But then it becomes like when you're fulfilling and people ask to refund, perhaps you've already sent the goods, or people ask for refunds like when you've already manufactured the items. It gets a little bit messy, doesn't it? I'm always like, like if you haven't got the product, ask me for a refund.
I think that's I think fair enough. If you haven't got the product, then maybe you can ask for it. But if you've got if it's already shipped, or if it's in the way, but I think you're right. If you've not got the product, you have all rights to ask for a refund.
But I guess when you're asking for a refund from Indiegogo, that you're refunding the idea of the project almost as much as the project itself.
Well, and your confidence in the creator, frankly. That was the reason for my refunds.
No, I mean it just could be a financial thing, right? You do need the money now. Doesn't
That too,
you might
sure.
Well, that's the other thing, isn't it? I mean, we're in a terrible economy. If people need to refund, I've had people refund stuff just because they need the money, and that's cool. It's like, go for it. It's another one of these messy issues that we have in CG that we have to deal with, and we're going to be dealing with these issues all the way through. And that's kind of what other than the art I provide, I really do think that these are topics that we're going to need to be addressed, and they're going to be ongoing things. This isn't going to end, just because Liam's issues get resolved or what have you. This is gonna happen again. I mean, we look at Mitch Breitweiser now. Has he fulfilled the book yet?
I don't think so.
Well, 1/3 of it. That's what's in Walmart, supposedly.
There was 2 issues went to Walmart, didn't there? And I think that I did the sums on another stream, which people accused me of being boring. I think it was November 14th was the very last day that he promised everyone would have their books, the full book in their hand.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Well, that's long since passed. Well, not long since, but that's passed. So, what do we say then? Like, has the 3rd book been released to Walmart? Does anyone know? Has anyone kept up on the 3rd book?
I don't think I've been to a Walmart in 5 years.
So no one knows. No one has mentioned anything, so I'm going to assume that Red Rooster hasn't published its 3rd book. Now, I could make an assumption then that the Walmart deal has fallen through. My understanding with Walmart is that if you don't fulfill, in a timely fashion, if there's too many returns of your product, then they just get rid of you. So, book 3 was pushed back to December. Am I going to do a book? Yeah, I'm doing a book.
Really?
Yeah.
You never talked about it before.
No, I haven't talked about it before, but it's coming out.
Like an art book or
no, a comic book.
Really?
Yeah.
Do tell more.
So, sorry.
Do tell more.
I can't tell too much more at the moment, but my streams will start to morph and evolve. One of the reasons that I haven't been online as much is because I've been doing a lot of work outside of the YouTube show, but it's going to be fully created by me, so it's not a Conquest comic book. I do have a book lined up with Liam, but that's in really sort of early stages of development, and we will go through with that at a later date. But
what's the name of your press? Your comic press? Do you have a name for your book?
No, not yet.
But will you be publishing independently or with Conquest?
Yeah, independent. You said it.
No, it'll be independent. It'll be through me. It'll be like,
okay.
It'll just be Oz Art Creations.
Yeah. I'll definitely back you. I won't back anything from Liam.
Yeah, I understand that, and I think it's unfortunate that kind of thing happens. But I understand as well that CG is also about customer service. It's about how we present ourselves online. It's about how we deal with the customers and how we deal with other creators. So I'm not going to judge anyone for not wanting to buy someone's book because they don't like them.
I think
Well,
it's
it's like
part of
Ahmed
the
said.
whole promotion thing.
It's not
Yeah, and we are selling on emotion. I mean, we don't have IPs that are that are grounded. We don't have established IPs. So we are buying a lot of books based on the characters, whether we think that characters, on the creators, whether they'll deliver, whether they'll deliver a good product. Have they delivered a good product previously? Have the campaigns been fulfilled? Did I get what I asked for previously? And is this person an asshole? Can I actually support this person's worldviews? All this stuff, all this stuff all gets wrapped up into a little bundle when people decide whether or not to buy a product. And I think that we have to be mindful of that when we do these shows and when we do things in relation to other creators.
So
yeah,
will I
you
get a
are your
review copy?
business.
Sorry, what was that?
Will I get a review copy?
You ain't getting shit, name it.
Hey, I can ask, right?
Ahmed owes you a pizza.
Yeah, Amen. You owe me a pizza.
Okay, let's get back to this pizza topic.
I want a pizza.
That was sarcasm.
Do not joke about pizza, good sir.
Tone is never told in chats. That's the problem. You can never see the person's tone that they were talking in. It's a little difficult.
Yeah, I know about that. People often think I'm trolling. I'm just making friends.
Olga777 says, I'm very disappointed in Liam right now. This is terrible. When your parent comes down and says, look, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. It's like the worst thing possible. Olga's like, I'm not angry with you, Liam. I'm just really disappointed right now.
Is that what you say to your kids, Oz?
I'm not going to ask for a refund for Xenotype. I'm not going to ask you. I'm not going to put you in timeout. But it will be hard to back him again. It will be hard for me to trust you to come home on time in the future.
I like Orga. He was good to stream with.
KSS, August will have a book for sale, but still no mods. Yeah, if I can get away with having a book for sale and still no mods, I will do it.
That's a lot of multitasking, Oz. Are you up for it?
What do you mean?
Well, you'll be dropping the link yourself.
Yeah, but it'll be great.
Well, you could always have someone help you with that. I might know somebody.
You wouldn't want to wrench on my show, Well Read.
Well, I have tons of experience. I know all about wrenches.
I don't want a wrench. Liam gave me a wrench, and then I posted a link of Rob Arnold's stream on his show. He didn't like that.
Don't wrench for Liam. That's rule number 1.
Dark Grift Comic presents says, I had him on specifically the other day, I don't know who he's talking about, to tell him to stop bringing me into his crap with Liam and others and to stop bringing it on my show unless that's the topic. Who's that? Who's he talking about?
Who said that?
Dark Gift.
Oh, yeah. Basically, Dark Gift was doing the show. I was in the chat and Testify kept bringing up Liam. And he said, I don't want to discuss that. And he kept...
Oh, Testify. Right. Yeah, I don't know. Joseph asks, has Xenotype had many refunds? It's around 71k now. Was it higher in the past? I don't think it's been swamped by refunds. I don't think this is a war campaign.
Moment.
No, it's not a war campaign moment. Liam doesn't have anything negative to say about too many creators that he's not squabbling with.
Apart from, did you see his trash or what was it? Treasure stream?
Yeah, that was great.
Talk about being brutal.
Have you seen my show yet, Oz?
No.
You should check out last night's episode.
Is it about me?
No, I don't do a drama stream.
What? Why would you say I'm a drama stream?
It was just full of music.
Yeah, I play music and I promote
I was very
content.
bored.
Oh, well, if it's not to your taste, I'm sorry.
No, I mean, like, I thought it was like they would be talking in it, but maybe I was like mistaken in what it was. But I was like, this isn't just like a radio station.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Okay, in that case, well, I guess you kind of got that.
But yeah, you said
I just expected a normal show, you know?
As I was saying, as the words were coming out of my mouth about Liam not harassing too many creators, I was just, the name sort of just popped into. There's an awful lot actually that Liam doesn't get along with.
But I didn't say your show was a drama stream. That was a bit of a Freudian slip there, Oz. I just said I didn't talk about you because I don't do a drama stream.
Right. Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. As long as you're not accusing me of being a drama stream, because I've been accused of that in the past.
No, I don't.
You were
It's
at the
based
beginning.
completely.
At no point in time was I ever a drama stream. This is some kind of misconception on what I'm trying to do here.
Oh my God!
Did
Do you
you
remember?
forget the time when Berserk first came on the scene? He was pretty much accusing everybody in the chat of being, I guess, a leftist, and he wanted to put them in concentration camps. I don't know, something about trains, blah blah blah, and him pretty much berating everybody who came on the stream.
But did I bring Berserk on and argue with him and yell at him, or did I bring him on and ask him to explain his position in life?
You brought him on and didn't say anything and let him insult everybody. You didn't kick him.
No, I didn't kick him. Why would I kick someone?
Well, if you don't agree with what he's saying.
Well, you kicked Testify.
Well, I only kicked Testify because he's so mean to Liam. You know what I mean?
I'm mean to Liam, but I'm polite about it, I guess.
Well, I mean, you're mean to him in terms of like you say things about him that you don't like, and that's cool. I do that as well.
You really don't think you were a drama stream before? You're being 100% real about this, or
100% real. I'm not a drama stream.
No, I don't think you are now, but you started off.
Just because people come on, look, I interview people, and then people yell at them, and then they come on and they yell at them. That's not a drama stream. I don't like invite people on and say like, hey, there's this drama going on.
Isn't that what people like Jeremy Kyle do?
Who's Jeremy Kyle?
Or what the fuck? In America, they have like Jerry Springer, that kind of show.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
You put a bunch of shitheads in a room and then you wash your hands of the consequences. So
Yeah.
Jerry Springer brings people. Jerry Springer has staff that go out and advertise that they want drama, and
Yeah,
that
but
they
you're-
and then they vet people so that they only bring on the most drama people, and then they set people up with gotchas in like blood tests and paternity tests and like, oh well, you don't like this person, well here he is, I'm bringing him on. What a shock!
well, you were misquoting me to Liam yesterday, Oz. So I did think you wanted a bit of drama there.
What was I misquoting?
You were reading my tweet and you were paraphrasing it kind of in crass terms. I think you said I called him a bad, stupid person or something, and I was saying that he's becoming hated in CG for all these strikes.
Is that what you meant?
That's what I typed. Damn it,
And what did I say?
You said I called him a poopy head or something, to that effect.
And is that not what you meant?
Intent and actual words are two separate things.
Yeah, you're turning paraphrasing into an art.
And then you came on the show yesterday, and from the chat, you called him a dickhead.
I did do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just like fast forwarding through.
You were the catalyst.
No.
You do like the external part.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. No, honest talk for a second here. Well read. Has there ever been a time where I have encouraged you to do any dramatics whatsoever?
No, you just make sure to leave the door wide open for me when all the worst characters are here.
Right.
Really
have I ever said to you, "Hey, man, it's all good, man. Like we're all cool. There's no drama here."
No, you're
have
like,
I ever said that to you?
Yo, man, you could take that Pan guy. He's a pussy. Get on there.
I wish I was like that. If I was like that, you'd never come on my show.
No,
isn't that right?
Yeah, that is true.
It's the same thing. I'll have Nasser on my show in the next couple of days to explain himself, but I won't bring him on with Liam because I don't do that. I don't. That's not the kind of thing that I do.
Right. Yeah, I still remember the early streams.
You're not into blood sports.
No, and I don't get involved in this kind of thing. I just,
You just wash your hands.
I'm a bartender. That's all I am. I'm just the guy behind the bar that just serves the drinks. And
yeah, but you don't throw out any of the drunks.
That's right. I do not tell people when they've had too much to drink. This is a saloon. This is not like your.
You monetize that shit.
Yeah, fuck it. If Jimbo's over there in the corner, passed out with his scotch, I'm not going to kick him out. He can stay.
You're going to charge him 5 more and be like, oh, you need to pay for this.
You'd encourage him to drink more.
Do you want another drink?
Yeah. Tell us what you really think of each other.
John T says, how are they ever going to solve the issue if they don't talk to each other? We're not at the stage yet, John T, where NASA and Liam can be in the same space. So
I don't think that's safe for either of them.
We'll pass it out, as in PARSE.
Yeah. Plus, I don't think Nasser sees your show as neutral ground with Liam on.
Anyway,
I'm just saying, he doesn't.
There's no blood sports going on here, and I apologize if anyone got the incorrect idea about my show. Sorry?
How did you meet Liam, by the way?
I've been involved in Comicsgate for many years. So, you know, I met Liam. He's an Aussie creator. He's seen my art. He asked me to do a project with him. I said no, because I was unwell at the time. And then I just had an accident and broken my back. And I said, no, I can't do it at the moment. So, and then a couple of years later, I said, hey, man, how about that project? This was before he launched Xenotype. And then we went through and we worked on a few things, and then things got a little bit crazy. So we cooled it off a bit. And yeah, that's how I met Liam.
Interesting origin story.
Yeah, so it's not too deep. I'm not actually contracted to Conquest Comics, and I'm not actually his employee as much as
he can't afford
as much as the people that surround Well Read would suggest otherwise.
All those rumors come from me, so just so you know who's the source.
He can't afford you, huh, Oz?
He can afford me. You and Liam were lovers, yeah. That's essentially how it worked out.
So things get crazy with Liam offline too. It's not just an online persona.
Oh no! This is all online. No, Liam. You know, he's a stand-up guy. Everything he says, I've had money dealings with Liam. He comes through. You know, we've done various things together. There's never been an issue. He's a stand-up guy. If you have something and you need it, if you needed to borrow money from him, and he had it, he would give it to you. Everything you see about Liam is 100% honest, and that I think that's part of the problem. He's a very honest, very affectionate, very open person, and he takes a lot of this stuff very, very personally when people say this.
I agree with that point. He's honest to a fault.
Yeah, I mean, his behavior and personality seems much more suited to reality than it does to this fictional reality on the internet.
Yeah, well, there is no fictional Liam on the internet, and that's what people need to understand as well. There's not a persona, if you know what I mean. There's not a filter going on here.
Well, it's not that he needs to be phony. It's that he needs to not treat these interactions as he would real ones that he has in his personal life. Everything here is behind a veil.
Yeah, but you also have to understand that these are comic book people who spend their life sitting in a room, not talking to anyone, just like working shit, you know, in their head. So
why analyze it?
To ask people like that to be different people, maybe you're going to lose the creativity, maybe you're going to lose the productivity. I don't know.
It doesn't seem worth analyzing.
I gotta go. I'll talk to you later.
All right, Amit.
Later, Amit. Me and you, Oz.
So well read. How do you think a book by Oz Art Creations will do in the current CG marketplace climate?
Well, I know EVS had to delay his campaign because he's a little bit worried about people being tight right now financially.
Who's that? Sorry?
Ethan, Rainbow Brew.
Right.
Yeah, he had to move the launch date. So I would wait until the stimulus passes in the U.S. and everybody's flush with cash. Launch, get on them while they have money in their pocket. And I'd also kind of detach from a lot of this drama, a lot of the downvotes that you got the other day. And I don't know if you're getting unsubscribes or not, but, try to cultivate your audience a little bit more, make people happy to join your stream.
I'll just buy more subscribers if anyone unsubscribes.
I could have my alts, just bump that number up for you.
See, here's the thing, right? If I was Liam, I would be publishing all sorts of information to refute that, accusation that I bought subscribers. I'd be posting my credit card receipts and like my, I don't know, all this other shit, and everyone will be laughing at me. But instead, I just ignore it, and everyone's like, yeah, that Testify guy is just fucking insane.
Yeah.
So those are the two different approaches we have to the issue. But it's still the same problem, isn't it?
Well, it doesn't stand out in anybody's mind. I mean, I forgot about that rumor, and I don't think anyone really cares, frankly. I mean, it's your audience while you're streaming that matters, really, not your subscribers. So it's your views and your active engagement. Who cares what your subscriber count is?
Pete Callan for $5. Thank you very much, Pete. Where's my pins, Clan Boy? Pete, didn't you see the beginning of this show? I won't be launching any project until every last person has a pin.
Yeah, you have to build a reputation now in CG.
And that's why, I think the great thing about CG, and the great thing about the model that we have is that we're able to get support for a product so that we can put forward the best quality product we can, rather than perhaps having a cheaper product and trying to sell it. Does that make sense, what I'm trying to get across?
Well, yeah. I mean, you get to fulfill your vision of the product you want to release, but people have to trust that you're also the person that will follow through. So that's been a problem. Everybody wants to oversell exactly what their project's going to be. Everybody's very ambitious in CG. Honestly, Liam is assuming that he has a bit of a reputation when he hasn't really delivered yet. So, I mean, speak to what you've accomplished, and don't just sell vaporware.
Yeah, well, that's why I made sure that what I put out was the highest quality that was offered in terms of manufacturing.
Good.
So what people get is as good as you can get anywhere. So you're going to be getting something that's better than what Marvel can provide, what Disney can provide. And I think that's important. I think that as a niche market, we need to offer a premium product. I think it needs to be better than anything else that's out there. And it's a difficult space because we're also occupying a space for indie creators. And, you know, and that space is generally, how should I say it, more amateur.
Mm-hmm.
So generally we're dealing with people that haven't been published before, who may not have had professional training.
Right.
And for them to offer up a premium product at the price range that we require to have the business succeed, I think maybe is too difficult for some people. And that's a sad reality. I think that we had a zine market through the 60s, 70s, and a little bit into the 80s, and that's where a lot of these people broke their teeth. And now we're trying to break teeth on a high dollar amount. So
Right.
I think there's going to be some difficulty straddling those two spheres, and I think Ethan is finding difficulty with that as well. What he promotes and what he doesn't promote, because he really needs to be promoting product that is better than what is being produced by DC and Marvel.
Right. Yeah, a lot of this is building trust with the creators. And Ahmed is right. I mean, these are investments into, you know, entrepreneurs and small businesses. So your persona matters. I trust you, and I can trust somebody like Mike, for example. I hear all these ridiculous stories about the way he funds his project, but Mike is constantly working. Every time you look at a stream, Doug Tenaple is constantly drawing. You'll always see them producing something. So I don't have any doubt that those people are going to reach their goals and have an end product. If they're just, you know, sitting around on streams trying to only be entertaining, I don't necessarily believe that they're going to be productive. So, and I've seen you follow a project through. I've seen you be productive, and I would have confidence that you would actually deliver on what you promise. So,
well, I do hope that other people see that as well, and we'll see how it goes. Mr. Wonderful for Australian $10. Thank you very much. Very generous. Says, was on the road. Aim It was great. Well-read self-abuser one was slimy as usual. This guy begs and super chats for mods and refunds when revoked. Imagine the mindset of this sociopath.
sociopath.
Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal.
It's all a compliment, believe me.
Wilberforce asks, Oz, are you still CG? Yeah. CG for life, my friend. CG for life. CG, you know, we need to understand what CG is. CG is the most important movement in the US today, right? We may be tiny, we may be minuscule, People may think that that's stupid and like hyperbole, but this is essentially the only independent movement that is opposing the mainstream view.
The only successful one.
The only I'd say visible one.
Mm-hmm.
It's so tiny, like it's nothing, but the impact is huge. You know, we're like we're at the gates of hell. We're trying to break the hordes that are descending upon us.
Well, we're pioneers, and we're building a model that works. And yeah, all these discussions we were having earlier, they're going to come up because we're in uncharted territory. There's never been a business model like this before, but it's necessary, to keep people's voices free, and to make sure art always finds a way to express itself, even in an authoritarian corporate climate like the one we have right now.
Well, one thing that I will be doing differently in terms of book launch is that it will be completely transparent. So everything that I produce essentially will be produced live, and people will be able to ask questions and may or may not get answers.
Sorry, I love this comment from Will Hung and Tongue.
No, we'll get to it. Pete Kellen, if I did, would I have asked for $2? Thank you, Pete. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you the answer. The goods have been sorted and packed and boxed and sent to the US, and then I've got a friend in the US who I don't know whether he wants me to tell you who he is.
Is it Micah?
No, it's not Micah. Who will be distributing this stuff for you. There's a little bit of a backlog in terms of Christmas stuff. Like the mail is just mad at the moment. But I really hope you guys all get it before Christmas. Like that would be awesome. But rest assured, like they're all packaged up. There was no issue with regard to financing the delivery and stuff. Still got cash. Still got cash for any refunds or not refunds for any lost packages or anything like that. It's all good, all good. And it was a small fulfillment. It's like, I don't know, 80 packages or something. It's not a big deal.
It was good to cut your teeth on that, right? Get some practice. Make sure your questions are answered.
Yeah, and it was amusing. The whole, the difference between being a creator and perhaps just being a commentator is that you can actually create things and deliver them to people. And I think that is the Achilles heel of people that are just commentary. Is that you're always going to have the "we'll do better" argument sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Have to keep growing. That's why I don't like the drama so much. I don't see it as something that's good for growth.
What's that?
Well, I mean, if we're trying to encourage all of these small creators to network and collaborate and improve their business models, train each other, we're doing a lot of things freestyle. There isn't a corporate structure here. So we're just making it up as we go along and figuring out how to have a corporate structure. Maybe CG would benefit from an HR department, for example. But yeah, we're doing it in this open space. And I don't see how drama helps the corporate structure. So why would it help this open space that we're building here? It's destructive. It reduces our success rather than builds on it. So.
Mm-hmm. Brother Gaius says, Oz, will you ship from America to keep the international shipping costs down? Yeah, they'll be, I believe my current plan is that it will be printed and it will be made in the USA, essentially. Got to get you guys some jobs. You guys are all fucked there. We're going to print in the USA. It's going to be made in the USA. And, most of my customer base is in the USA, and that's who I cater to. and I will distribute locally to Australia, and it'll be printed in the US. And yeah, I hope you like the big Made in the USA sticker that I'm going to put on it. You know, I don't think it costs too much more to print in the US.
I don't know if it'll save on shipping costs or not. Is it expensive?
Oh yeah, it will shave on shipping costs.
Okay.
Currently, simply because the shipping at the moment is just fucked in the head.
What the hell is wrong with the chat? Everybody hate me in there. Mr. Wonderful, you're spending so much money to insult me. Do it for free.
Conquest Comics says, charging mower for a bit. You got a fucking electric mower, Liam. You should see the size of the lawns that Liam's got a mow, and he's got an electric one. Amazing. Has this been another stream all about me, Liam, the most happening personality in comic books?
Yeah, see.
No, nothing to do with you.
Mm-hmm. No EVS and no Liam.
Sorry about the link, Oz. I'm trying to mod on Bancroft's stream and I posted in the wrong chat. That's right, I didn't come through, Philip.
Do I get to show my channel at some point, Oz?
Oh, yeah. Giuseppe Linguini, one of my favorite names, says, I've actually warmed up to World Road User 1 over the past few weeks. He provides an interesting, different point of view to the usual clapping seals Oz hosts. How offensive.
How dare you compliment me, sir? I will see you outside.
Now, I've got to find Mr. Wonderful's chat here.
Yeah. You should find Well Hung and Dung's comment. It was amazing.
Mr. Wonderful for Australian $5. Thank you very much. Well Road User, I don't like drama. 2 things I don't like about Well Road User is face.
Ah, I have 2 faces.
Janus of the comic book industry. All right, so where are we? Shipping from Australia is extremely expensive. Yeah, just to put it in perspective, Australia Post has stopped all, essentially all small parcels. So you're paying for the same thing up to £45 or something, no matter what you send. So it's insane. But yeah, so I won't be shipping out of Australia. I'm still trying to find, what does it say?
It's really long. So
it's really long?
Yeah.
Oh, go on.
It was like a story.
Pete Callan for $2 says, I only asked because I'm moving in the next 2 weeks. Jesus Christ, Pete. Forward your mail. Fuck. It might not get to you in 2 weeks. I don't know what the situation is in the US. Ask your wife to pick up the mail.
So I found his comment.
Yeah.
It says, well read sounds like a clinically depressed middle manager delivering a final PowerPoint presentation to his bored colleagues just before he goes to his car and puts a revolver in his mouth. Truer words were never spoken.
Gigantic Android, who's a severe critic of myself and Comicsgate in general, says, I've seen business like this before. You buy something and get your friends to buy it, and then they sell it to their friends. He's accusing us of being some kind of Amway.
I don't know what an Amway is.
You know what an Amway is. Shut up.
Yes, sir.
Oh, so many buttons. They're all... don't tell at me.
Yeah.
I'll yell at you all I want. P. Callan. Darn you. I'll tell you. Don't change your address and then not forward on. For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
If it gets returned, then I got to pay the return postage and then I got to send you another one.
So inconsiderate. Moving and not telling you.
It's disgusting.
These people. Yes, streaming is hard. I didn't realize until I started doing it.
Right. What do you find difficult about it?
Getting your content up quickly. So I'm always having to and ah my way to the next song that I want to play. So
Fair enough. I mean, you know, it's not. I don't think it's that hard. You just take lots of drugs. You invite people on your show, and you just talk about comic books.
I've had one episode like that. It was pretty sweet. I envy
Pete
your
Callan,
job.
new member. Thank you very much for remembering.
See, I'm getting you new members, Sauce. I'm a
Yeah.
money-making machine.
Oh yeah, you're great, Well Read. Do people not know who Amway is?
I'm gonna Google it now.
You really don't know what Amway is?
That's a Australian thing.
No, no. It was even on The Simpsons. Gil goes to an anonymous meeting, and he's like, "Oh, even though we're all addicted to drugs, there's no reason why we can't talk about Amway."
No, you're right. It's based in Michigan, so I'm just an idiot. I don't know. I never heard of it before.
I don't know what other pyramid schemes are in the US, but Amway was like one of the first. Yeah, Brother Gaius gets the Simpsons reference. I'm just reading some of these chats here. Tupperware, yeah, Tupperware was a big one. Then there was the what was the other one? Not the ShamWow, the Enyo. Do you remember the Enyo scheme?
No, what was that about?
ENJO. You know what Enyo are?
Sorry.
Do you live under a rock, Well Read? What's going on? Like,
I don't fall for a lot of schemes, I guess. So
well, it's not a scheme. It's like Enyo was like a product that came out about 20 years ago, where it was like you don't need any chemicals to clean. You can just use our dish rags that have got special microfiber cloths.
yeah, it's ShamWow.
No.
Okay. And so this was a scam?
Amit Rayner says, Oz, did you enjoy our chat?
Just
Not really, Amit. Next time you come on, try and bring some pizza money with you.
We've got the
I do
monkeys
like
now.
that I got him to admit that he did say that he was going to send me pizza. That's what I did like.
Oh, yeah. You totally dragged that out of him.
Yeah.
Well read isn't so well read. I've never heard that one before. Very original.
Are you related to any of the Well Reads that are on Twitter?
Oh, the black chicks and all that stuff? No. I don't even know why people use that moniker.
I didn't mean for you to go straight to racial stereotypes.
It's Freudian slip.
Freudian slip.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? I've had a great audience today. I hope no one's too upset with anything that I say. What did you think about what I said? Well read. You disagree with a few things, and that's cool. But what do you think that I had to say in general?
I was actually a little surprised coming on the show because you seemed agitated before I got on.
Mm-hmm.
And then the discussion was fairly reasonable. You were willing to hear criticisms about the things that Liam did. And I didn't think you would be open to that. So, yeah, I thought it was a very even and, constructive conversation. So I was happy with it.
Well, I hope everyone in the audience also agrees that. What about you, Mr. Dongs? Mr. Dong seemed a bit upset with me for the first time today. What do you have to say about my ruminations, Mr. Dongs? Were you did you come around to any kind of points that I was making, or do you still think that I was talking shit? I had a look. I was looking for, what is your channel, Well Red? Let's plug it for a sec.
Oh, so Risey actually named it. It's called F Off Well Read.
Right.
I try to stream twice a week, and my format is I try to have interviews, but I mostly play music and I show campaigns. I'm not interested in being monetized, so some of the music I play is licensed, but it's all stuff that I, come across and have in my library and want to share. So it's really meant to just be promotional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know I'm boring. That's the reason why I have a music channel. Most DJs are boring.
Perth Comics says mods drop a link. Yeah. Conquest Comics says abolish. He's yelling at me here. I don't know if he's yelling at me, but he's yelling at someone.
He's yelling at me.
Come on, mates. Abolish intellectual property rights, you fuckers. Liam is a tyrant. He does not deserve to own the fruits of his labors, yeah?
Liam owns the copyright to his face.
You must not talk about Liam. And if you do, you definitely can't show an image of him.
or use his voice in a mocking tone.
7 of 9. What's the rating, 7 of 9? Can you give me a bit of a rating? He says, Oz, you're a better advocate for Liam than he is. Wow. I try to be better at everything than what Liam is. Jamie Max says, haven't watched in months. Why is Oz so depressed? Oh, I'm not depressed, Jamie. Please subscribe, click the bell for notification, and make sure you're tuning in. Spread the word. We'll have some lovely art to show you. Would anybody be interested in any sort of... Amit Rayner asked me this question, portfolio reviews.
Can you do me a favor, Oz? Next time you have Risey on, could you please tell him it's okay to come on my show? He's not sure if he should with all the beefs going on. And I want him to know that he has your blessing.
Oh. Amit is greater than Oz is greater than Well Read.
Well,
but where do I fit 7 of 9 in terms of Liam and the other creators?
Wait, so are you keeping Risey to yourself?
God, no. Oh,
okay.
No.
So tell him to come on my show, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Risey, go on his show.
It's okay, Risey.
Someone's got to be there. And
I'm definitely not enough. Somebody has to help me with this.
Jamie Max really has been away. I miss Risey. Last time I listened, he almost died. And you didn't follow up? You didn't really care about Risey then. If you're not, here's a good question here for you before we end the stream. Well read. Oh, no, wait, that's it. That's not the one.
Not a question.
No. Well read user. If you're not interested in monetization, what is the point? Super chats?
Promotion. I think it's invaluable to have a channel that is a platform for promotion. That's more valuable than monetization in super chats, actually. And yeah, music channels, they get a lot of subscribers. So they're a great way to promote projects, not to the immediate benefit of the person running the channel, but to the creators and ultimately to anyone affiliated with it.
Okay. Sounds good. And what sort of music do you play?
It's eclectic. I pick a lot of different stuff. I need to figure out the art of tagging so that hopefully YouTube starts recommending it more. But come check it out. See if you like anything. It's always something different there.
Okay. Everyone go watch Will Red User's channel if you want to listen to some eclectic music. He's selling it so well here.
It's F off, well read. A sentiment we can all share.
Okay. F off, well read. Let's wrap it up. I will stream again later on. Just because you all seem to be missing me. And, you know, I miss you too. And I'll be able to show you a bit of what I'm doing. I hope you'll tune in well read and give me a bit of critique on what you think I'm doing and what you think I should change in what I'm doing.
Absolutely. Happy to be on anytime you want me.
No worries at all. DJ2K loves me. I love you too. Thank you all for coming. I'm sorry that the rocket didn't explode today. But I'm going to show my outro because I didn't do an intro because we went straight to the rocket launch. Thank you so much for the super chats today. I really appreciate it. Thank you for everyone that came on. I hope that, you know, I hope that there are some rifts that we can start to mend. Perhaps Liam will come round to what people are saying.
Perhaps Liam and I will hug one day.
Show my latest tweet before we go. All right, hang on a sec. Show Liam's tweet. Just click that one button and another button. We go down here. Oh. Okay. I can't believe we're going through this now. Let me show. Click another button. Share screen. Chrome tab. Liam Gray. Can you read this out for me?
Sure, as soon as it comes up. I've been thinking, since we're entering a new era of redemption and forgiving past sins, perhaps is it finally time for the triumphant return of the war campaign? It turns out most of the Anna harassment came from members of Etsy. Can war campaign be purified? No. I added the no.
Oh, Tug's in there. Well, I'll leave that. I'll leave that question for. I'll leave that question open-ended and for the chat for everyone to decide.
I went in their chat on DLive on Sunday to see what they're up to, and I told them to get back into CG and start networking again. But then Pan got on here and started talking shit, and I'm like, oh, not much has changed.
I think there's your answer, Mr. Liam Gray.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the answer that everyone's going to share.
Ro and I agree. I like Ro, but I think I like Pan, but he's a bit of an idiot.
All right. I will see you guys later. The Owl Show, bringing my love from me to you. The Owl Show, help me help you to help me help you. The Owl Show, bringing my love from me to you. The Owl Show, help me help you to help me help you.
I've come here for a brain, and I'm